Hi guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Michael, and only together we can raise the world's frequency. And I say this because at your core, you are energy. Everything in the universe consists out of energy, frequency, and vibration, just like Nikola Tesla said, and just like Albert Einstein said, when you think of the universe, think of terms of energy. At your core, your consciousness. Everything is consciousness. God, as they refer in the Bible, the Father, is consciousness. It's not a man sitting at a throne and directing the universe. No, it's consciousness. And it's it's a pure form of consciousness. This table is consciousness. This chair is consciousness. I am consciousness. So when you start having present moment awareness and being aware, you don't have to know or understand it fully at first, because if you try to understand it fully, you can never do that. Man can never do that. But once you start having present moment awareness, being present and being aware of how you act and what you do in this reality, in your 3D reality, when you look internally, mostly, not from the outside, but internally, I mean, they can change your whole reality. So I just want to discuss something that you shouldn't take this reality so serious. Like, ignore it. Ignore what you see in the 3D. Ignore this physical reality. And by ignoring, I don't mean when you get a bill or something bad happens in life, you just think, I don't want to look at it, or you just ignore it completely by pretending it's not there. That's not what I mean. When you get a bill or when something bad happens, you just let it pass, just like a cloud passes. You don't react to it emotionally, because when you react to it emotionally, you order more of it. Like Neville Goddard says, ignore the unfavorable physical evidence, not by pretending it's not there, but by refusing giving it authority. So when this bill comes and you're like, oh man, another bill, how am I ever gonna pay this? Where does the money come from? I need an extra job. You think in terms of lack and scarcity. And that's exactly how the system was made, how everything was taught to you. Like, you see something out there in your physical reality, in your 3D, and you think, how am I gonna solve this? But you need to solve this internally first. So you don't react emotionally to something that happens in the 3D, because you just order more of that same experience. You just, it sounds so simple, but you have to do this every single day, and you have to remind yourself doing it, because you were programmed to react this kind of way, and your life will not change. You will stay the same. This was invented like years ago when, like, let's start it at first, thousands of years ago. They already knew, the mystics, the Asians, how this world worked. Like, you are God in its pure form, and not in an egoic way, no, egotistic way. You are the image of God. God is a creator, therefore we are creators here on this physical experience. We're here to create, and not by hustling, getting out there, working 3 different jobs and just pushing it through, because in the end, you will never be fulfilled. Because your mind will tell you, if you don't have grip on the mind will tell you first, if I have 2K salary a month, it will be enough. If I have a 5K salary a month, it will be enough. Then you have the 5K salary, and it says no, we need to have a 10K salary a month, and it will never end. So when you start feeling wealthy at first, like I am wealth because everything is consciousness, therefore I am wealth. Money, it's just paper or it's just numbers on a screen. But at the core, it's energy. I think someone also referred, like, if you grab all the money in the world and divide it evenly over everyone in the world, it will always go back to the richest ones that have the money right now, because they're in a different state. They're in a state of abundance, in a state of wealth, in a stage of already feeling rich. They don't need to have it. They can live without it. So that's exactly why they get it. And that's another example of Michael Singer and his book, The Surrender Experiment. He was a simple yogi. All he wanted to do was meditate all day, and nobody had to disturb him. He was just living in his van. Of course, we live in a survival-based reality, so therefore he worked at school for, 2 days or 3 days to have some money, but he was making, just a couple hundred a month. And he was just living in his van, meditating all day. But because he was in a state of abundance, because he didn't need anything, because he already was everything, he felt like he was already complete from within. He already knew that life was already completed. Life, or as the Bible states, life is already finished, life's already complete. So he felt that from within. And then things just started to flow and match with his frequency from within. So people started to come at him. He eventually started to building businesses, meeting people from where he clashed with in school. Suddenly he met them, and it was like working out in the end. And he got a really successful business, which he sold for $1 billion. And it was never he never wanted to do that in the first place. He never wanted to be a billionaire. Because if you want something, if you want money, if you want to be a billionaire, and now we just talk from a state of wealth and money, because most people, they just hunger money in this physical survival game. So therefore I will talk about money, but it can also be with relationships. It can be with whatever you desire in life. If you are in a state of wanting, you're already lacking. Like, you already operate from a state of lack. So the best thing, even though it's hard, is to just surrender. That's why his book was called The Surrender Experiment. You have got plenty of books out there that talk about this, and they all come to the same principle. You let go, you surrender, and you surrender to the state of needing, and you go to the state of having, like complete. You're already complete. Of course, when you have the desire, then it means there's already a version of you that's living this reality, because else you wouldn't have this desire. But now the only thing is that you start feeling whole and complete from within. Let's see if I talk about everything, because I write it down. Another good quote out of the Bible is, "Before Abraham, I am." And most people, they just read it and they think, what do they mean? Before you see anything appear in your physical world, I am. That means your identity, who you say you are, the outer. So before you see anything appear within your physical world, you first have to go back within and fix the I am. Just know that I am. You're already complete. like I said, everything is consciousness. Everything comes back to consciousness. You just have to let life flow. Because if you have a river and you try to swim that way, like upstream, it'll be very hard. It won't be fun. You will be tired. You will be whatever. But you understand where I'm going. You just have to flow with the river. Just like the Tao, the Chinese, they speak, or the Taoism, they speak of the flow of life. This is the flow of life, and the flow of life, just let it go, let it do its thing. And things will start to, then bridges will start to appear. Like suddenly things will start to click. And when you see that happening, you just look at it like clouds passing by, like a thunderstorm passing by. That's what, like when a cloud comes, like there's no God like stopping, oh, we don't want this cloud here, or we don't want this thunderstorm here right now, so let's just cut it off. No, it just passes by naturally. That's the same thing what you do with life. When you see these bridges starting to form, dots will start to connect, people will start to appear, circumstances will start to flow within your life. You just let it go, and suddenly you're like, whoa, it just all happens so naturally, and you won't like be in a state of need. You just have it because you're that person. You're actually it. You know that you're it from within. I think this is everything I wanted to discuss in a matter of well and needing. So if you like these type of videos, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you struggle with anything, let's see if we can help each other just get a fulfilled life. And I'll see you in the next one, guys.